60s.
Now that right there is the twin 60s. When I first got there, that's what we had. And that's on the left side of the aircraft. And we had the twin 60s out there. And that's what the co-pilot shot. Now, the right side, those guns and that pylon sticking out there from just above the rocket pod, yeah, all of that would be gone because they would interfere with the 50. And the 50 was a much more powerful weapon. So the right side where the 50 was at, all that stuff was gone. On the left side, it was still on the lead bird, and that's what the co-pilot shot. Yeah, there you go. Now, this is one of the detachments down south. The reason I say that is see the large size of that ammo can? That is yeah. What I had at Det 2, we used a 100-round can. The guys on some of the other detachments, they use these 1,000-round cans.
Wow.
You could put a bunch of damn ammo in it. Several disadvantages to that I did not like. One thing, the wind. You're out there in storms and flying, and the wind, that's a big sail sticking out there controlling your gun. The second thing is that when you stop firing, you still had a round in the chamber on the 50. Now, on the 60, it fired from an open bolt position, so you did not have cook-offs on a 60. There was nothing in the chamber. On a 50, when you first load it, you put the ammo on the top, slap the top down on it. Then on the right side, you could do it either way. But on the side, you pull the cocking lever back once, and it would feed the first round up to the top of the load chamber. The 50 was open in the bottom because that's where it ejected everything, and it ejects out the bottom. But when you cocked it the second time, that's when it fed the round in the chamber. As you fired, then each time it would feed a round in the chamber, then it would fire the pin, and then the recoil would load the next one. But when you stopped firing, when you lifted off the butterflies, you still had a round in the chamber. And you get cook-offs. You out there in a big firefight shooting this thing a lot, barrel gets so hot, you get a cook-off in a 50. Two ways to deal with it. You could either, on the back of the 50, between the butterflies, there's a round curled knob, and it has a little spring clip. When you pull that knob is spring loaded. When you pull it out, slide that clip down in there, that prevents it, that takes it off of automatic. It no longer will fire automatic. It's just push the button, bang. Then you have to cock it to feed another round. So if you were on that kind of a load on the 50, you could, stop firing, flip that darn clip off of there. So your pin would lock it and then fire one more round, and it would lock the bolt in an open position so that you would not have a round in the chamber, and hopefully it'll leave, you wouldn't have a cook-off that way. Different ways of doing it. In the 100-round cans that I had, pilot going in on a run, basically it's set up, getting in a run, I think about 70 knots, ball center, tilted over in the middle till the cross came down, pushed the button. Then when they bail out to the left, as I would come online with the 50, they could time it where as I was shooting and they were flying off and I would still be on target, that it would take about 100 rounds to get out of there. And that would be enough time for the trail bird to be coming in on target. So everything is covered, and then we wagon wheel the things like this. So and as we were coming out, my 100 cam was empty. Well, by then the aircraft was around far enough that our left side gunner was going back on target. As the trail bird was coming in, I simply reached up there, took the bungee cord off of that 100-round can, threw the empty over, reached down the floor, got another can, put it up there, slapped it in the top, back down 2 racks. And by then, we're setting up to come back in on another rocket run. And that's the way we did that stuff.
Oh, is that the 50 or is that the minigun? Oh, that's the minigun with
that's
tracers.
The minigun there, yeah. Oh, so first, Walt Fraser's the one that did that. He, Chief Fraser, when the minis were first replaced in the 60s, we were having a lot of problems with the delinkers. The darn things that jam up. And anyway, so Walt was making the rounds of all the detachments to show the guys, you know, some tricks and what they might be doing wrong and stuff and get them fixed. He got up to Det 2 and he wanted to be a gunner. Well, we kept him. You know, been to his call. When's Chief coming up? Well, we got a problem. We just a few more days. You know, no problem. Just next week. You know. Well, we put him in the darn cans on the ammo seat. Took him flying. Taught him how to shoot, free gun and stuff. Then when Ben Toohey called, you know, 2-3 weeks later, where's Fraser at? We got. Oh well, you know, we're short a gunner. We're just gonna keep him. And he spent the rest of his time on that too. While he was up there, he was a character. He was a cool dude. Still is. While he was up there, he is the one that figured out how to put a minigun in the door. Now, you got to understand the minigun has electronics with it to control the feed motors and the firing and all this other stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there. It's not like just a regular gun, you know, cock the thing, pull the trigger, and it goes bang. This has some electronics on it. So we took a 50 can and put all it, that's a pretty good shot. Put all of the electronics in that 50 can and sealed it up with silicone caulk so it wouldn't get wet, and had the cables run outside of that can up to the gun. Now, on the gun, you had 2 buttons. We had push buttons. Other guys had little switches, depending on what you could steal where you were at. We had push buttons. Cumshaw, I think, proper word. We had push buttons. So you would push the firing pin, then feed the ammo. If you pushed the feed first and it didn't shoot, that thing would wad up so bad. Anyway, you had to do the 2-step. So you'd learn to push the firing pin, feed the ammo, then let off the ammo, and then let off the firing pin. If that thing jammed and you had rounds in there, the only way you could get them out was to wait till you got on the ground, disconnect the feed belt so you get the ammo broken off right there at the top of the minigun, and then spin the barrels. As you spun that barrel, that ammo would fire until you got the last of the rounds out of those 2 or 3 barrels that's still jammed in there. Which is why a while ago, when you showed that picture of the airplane sitting on the ground, you could see the PCP in there. But the minigun, instead of being pointed straight, kind of down at the, or not completely straight, 45-degree angle down, straight to the front of the aircraft, it was cocked in towards the skid. So if you had a jam on that thing, and that's the way they parked it, you had to stand astraddle that gun, spin the barrels to get the thing clear. New officers that didn't know that, after we get back in, we're trying to clean shit up, they go in the ready room, filling out the paperwork, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 out here in the fire on the flight line. They come screaming out there, you know, what are you idiots doing? Well, working. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's why that other picture you had of that minigun short and pointing down crooked, I wondered who the devil did that. You know, that was
there's one.
Oh, that's a door gun. Yeah. But now, see, look at the triggers they've got on that thing. Is that, yes, is that 30 caliber?
It looks like it.
And then that's the switches they've got. Holy crap! What the heck did they do?
I've never seen anything like that before. Wow.
Also, the frame that's holding the gun has no bottom because obviously you can see the bottom of the gun. So I wonder which detachment did that. But now see the 60 on this side, it's still, look right there where your mouse hand is at the bottom. Come on down right there. That is the foregrip on that 60. Excuse me. Also, that white pin right up here above that, right there, easy to pull that baby out of there, don't you think? And you got yourself a free gun.
Man. And also, look at the smoke y'all are carrying back here. Good Lord.
Yeah, he's only got one string. I had two in the back of mine. And you get so familiar with that stuff, you can actually, in the dark, I could reach back there when I was flying right side 50 crew chief. I could reach back there on either of those wires, and I knew what I had. Because the bottom ones were hurt you stuff. Frags, concussions, that sort of thing. Or up on and the Willie Pete's were first on that. So you had Willie Pete's, and then you had a little, you had the regular pineapples. We also had the apples, the round. And then we had the concussion grenades. And anyway, that bottom line was what that was. The top line was smokes, and you line those up by color. And that's what I had on mine. But yeah, he just got one row there.
He's got a little mini row right here, it looks like, as well, of some. Definitely not as long as that back row.
Look right, go right up from there to see this little, no, come on, straight up. Whoa, right there. That is a smoke grenade, and that's hanging on the edge of